So welcome back, everyone. It's finished here at the Cardiff City Stadium, Newport County AFC 0. Leyton Orient 1. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but we're joined again by Damien Broad, the academy manager. Unfortunately, not the result any of us wanted.
No, a tough one to take. I think decisions that are made today, certainly help the opposition, and it was unfortunate, but we didn't really look like scoring. Even at the end when we're chasing it, which is a shame.
We touched on it in the halftime show, that coming together in the 37th minute, where the lad went off injured at halftime as it was anyway, but he's kind of raised his hand into Josh Labadie's face. We saw it at Oldham where Labs was sent off for a similar type of incident, and sometimes that kind of not a level playing field around decisions like that will annoy the team and the management, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the big criticism sometimes is the consistency of decisions. If you raise a hand and make contact, it's either a red or a talking to. But it seems a shame that you get one against you a couple of weeks ago and then today it just doesn't go for you. It's hard to accept, I bet, sometimes.
In that first half, County looked quite sharp. There were good chances. Lewis had one on the right hand side, and then Josh Labadie had a header which came back off the post. More dominant in the first half, really. We didn't create quite as much in the second half.
No, I think when we go a goal behind and then you make a number of changes, by the time they come into the game, then it's it was a little bit kind of out of our way then, and Leyton Orient had confidence and they had the goal behind them, so they could sit and kind of soak up pressure and then deal with it and play on the counter attack a little bit more. And as we threw more bodies forward, they were still able to attack and get into good opportunities and kind of run down the clock as well at times. Yeah,
and some controversy around their goal, it would appear, as well. The linesman had actually flagged for offside when the ball went into the net. There was a big conflab between a group of players from both sides and then the ref and the linesman before they decided to award the goal. From where we're sat up here at the back of the stand, really, we can't quite see what was going on, but thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's a tough one to take, really, because certainly luck's not gone for us today, and a decision like that, usually you go with the linesman and it's a free kick and you continue to play, but the ref's obviously seen something, whether it came off. I think you could hear they were claiming it came off one of our players' toes, and maybe that's why it ended up at the Leyton Orient player. But from where we were, we couldn't see. But it's again just an unfortunate decision which has gone against us today.
Absolutely. A couple of questions that have come in on social media that we'll get to in a minute as well. But firstly, I'm sure viewers and fans at home will have seen the club has advertised for a sporting director position over the last couple of days, and to support a development role within the club. Can you just expand on what that looks like for us a little bit more?
Yeah, so the club are looking to bridge the gap between the academy and first team next season, and retain potential prospects from the academy. It's a difficult age group. Players at 18, are they ready to come in and make an impact consistently week in, week out at League 2 level? It's difficult. So I think the club has made the decision to retain better prospects who in a few years' time we might reap the rewards from. So it gives us that pathway, it gives us that flexibility as well. It'll support the first team, but it'll also support the academy massively as well. So yeah, it's looking positive.
Excellent news. And speaking of some positives from the academy, Lewis Twomley called up to Wales under-18s, Lewis Collins as well called up to Wales under-21s. Must be, as the academy manager, an incredibly proud moment for you as well as them and their families.
Yeah, no, without doubt. Lewis Collins, great. He's got involved again. He's come through the academy system and been a part of the first team now for the past few years. Lewis Twomley, we spoke most recently with his parents as well, and looking at his first year with us in the academy, there was lots of downs, lots of ups and downs, and he's come back after the kind of lockdown period. He's worked very hard, he's listened to the staff, he's worked with the staff, and ultimately he's reaping the rewards now. The performance he's putting in, he's doing himself justice. he's doing us proud and he's doing his family proud. So it does set precedence, you know. FAW and Wales, they are looking at our academy now, which is fantastic.
Excellent.
And it gives that motivation for other players as well to see, oh wow, if Lewis can do it, you know, after an up and down season, then, you know, if I'm working hard and doing the right things, then maybe I can be there too. So yeah, it's great.
Excellent. I mean, and for those youngsters, both our Lewises, you know, in the under-18s and in the under-21s, you've got to use that as just one more step on your journey, haven't you? Really, it's got to be a case of, for those youngsters and all the youngsters in the academy, that, you know, better never stops, really, does it?
Yeah, and you know, it certainly, you know, like I said, sets that precedence now, and that goal for others to try and reach and achieve. You know, we've seen players playing in the first team in recent seasons, getting call-ups and doing quite well there. You know, and now we're seeing international recognition at age groups as well. We have done with the under-17s and the under-19s as well over the last season or so. So yeah, it's positive, and hopefully, if I was an academy player, I'd be looking at that thinking, wow, I want to be like that. Absolutely.
And you mentioned call-ups for some of the senior squad members as well. Obviously, Josh Sheehan and Tom King with Wales and Luke Gambin with Malta. A fantastic opportunity for them as well over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, brilliant. I think if you look at Malta's next fixture, it's Croatia, and
yeah,
he's going to be coming up against Luka Modric.
A bit of a change in Leyton Orient.
Yeah, well, what a fantastic opportunity for him to go and test himself against one of the best midfielders in the world over recent years. And again, for the Welsh guys going away on camp, again, it's fantastic opportunities for them.
That would be fantastic. We've had a couple of questions that have come in on social media for you. Teen Exiles on Twitter has asked, what motivates you as the academy manager? What motivates Damien Braw?
I think seeing people do well. My motivation personally is, you know, I want to do the best job I can. I want to make my family proud. I want to make my kids proud. But in terms of the academy, what motivates me really is people doing well, people achieving what they want to achieve in life, and whether that's in football or outside of football. You know, we play a massive part of that development and that progression, you know, when they're with us and when they leave us as well. So, you know, nothing makes me, you know, smile more than seeing a player score his first goal or, you know, make his first team debut or something like that. So they're the real standout moments for me, and it's probably why I come to work every day.
Brilliant. Randomly, we've had some food questions that have been coming in. Hamid's asked, what's the best kebab shop in Newport?
I don't know what he's trying to say. Is he implying something there? I should know?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Looking at his bio, that possibly he might be involved in the food catering industry in some capacity. So if you are Hamid, yours?
Yeah. If I'm honest, I haven't had a kebab in Newport.
No.
You know, I tend not to eat that kind of stuff anymore.
It's kind of health and nutrition and everything that goes along with that.
Yes.
So randomly, to accompany that, Andy from Bayslegs asked, "What's your favourite dessert?"
Oh wow!
Oh, wow, that's a curveball.
Again,
Andy.
what are these guys implying?
I don't, well, here
I'm getting really conscious now.
I think more here at Exiles Matchday Live, we're very pro kebab and very pro desserts. You know, it's both behind the camera and in front of the camera as well. But
I'm probably going to go with a local Newport business and say something from Beth's Bakes.
Fantastic. Well, Andy says he had some delicious strawberry cheesecake on Mother's Day. Not sure if that was from Beth's Bakes or where he got that from, but that's coming from Andy. So looking forward now, obviously, no game next Saturday with all the international call-ups, and a bit of an opportunity for the team to regroup. Results have been, you know, from drawing and losing to now a kind of period over the last sort of 6 games of winning and losing and managing to keep ourselves in the mix. This gives the manager a couple of weeks to work with the squad and kind of implement some things.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the games come thick and fast in this league, and you know, it's difficult probably to get out on the training ground sometimes, because you're playing game after game, and then, you know, your training sessions, you're kind of resting up, taking it easy ahead of the next one. So it gives, you know, the guys a real opportunity to work with those players who perhaps came in January, those who haven't had much game time, you know, to see them in maybe training games and in-house games, and certainly for you know, our new signings and more recently Joe Ledley, it gives him another 2 weeks again to be ready to kick on in League 2 action.
Absolutely. So we've got then Barrow away on Good Friday. long trip and a long way to go, but an opportunity to kind of put things right again.
Yeah, but again, another tough game. You know, every game in League Two, there's not an easy fixture, and you know, Barrow proved earlier in the season when they come to our place, they're tough opposition. You know, and you can't always take league standings at face value. Sometimes it's you know, any team can win on their day in this league, and I suppose that's what keeps the fans entertained, but what can be quite frustrating for us at times, where you know, people will expect results against people lower in the league, but it doesn't always work like that sometimes.
No, as we've unfortunately seen this afternoon. Damien, thank you ever so much for joining us here. Your third appearance on Exiles Matchday Live, and we'll be getting your match ball for you. Unfortunately, the chairman just pipped you to it. He was the hat trick of shows just before you. But thanks ever so much for joining us as well.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Cheers, Damien. Twitter friends now as well, we should say, probably there. But don't forget, you can join us. Our next game at home will be against Bolton Wanderers on Easter Monday, and we'll be back with Exiles Matchday Live then. Not the result any of us were looking for this afternoon, but enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you soon. Take care, and from all of us here at Exiles Matchday Live, have a very good afternoon.